will start with a simple question. What was your reaction to the invitation to this festival?
Oh, it was joy. Understand that Poland is not someplace I've been often. I have been here, but for a very short amount of time. So they showed me a few old buildings in Warsaw, and I got to see some shops and a lot of blonde-haired women. I thought they were all black-haired, you know. But I knew that when students were bringing me here, something was up. I knew, because man, now is like no other time in history. And I enjoy what I do. I've always enjoyed it. But I feel like the blues is very much alive right here in Krakow.
Have you ever come across a festival organized only by the students?
Not an entire festival, no. I've not come across that. I've come across events organized by students, but not whole festivals, and I'm very impressed. You seem very organized, and for students your age to be this active, I mean, you also must be very politically aware, very financially aware, and there's a lot of parameters that you have to deal with. It's a good thing.
Is it something special about the audience in Poland?
I think there's something special in the world I can find about every audience, but in particular here in Poland, I feel that I am not taken for granted. I feel that there's nobody who feels like they know everything and have to, don't have to come see me or anything. People are curious, they're open, they're very human, and they want to know things. They want to know about the blues, and I can tell them the stories using my fingers, you know.
One could think, seeing only one man on the stage with just his guitar and harmonica, that there's gonna be no power in this concert without electric guitars, drums, amplifiers. But as we could see yesterday, for example, it turns out that this one man on stage with his guitar can much more easily reach people's hearts and souls and really move them. Why is it so? Why it's easier in this way? Why it's more powerful in meaning?
Well, granted, having a band is a very powerful thing, especially if they got loud volume, they can make a lot of bodies move and shake. But one man or woman telling a story, perhaps with the accompaniment of an instrument, is how stories have been told for thousands and thousands of years. And I believe I get my power from history. I get my power from raw human contact. That's where the power comes from. I was born in New York City. My body is in New York City now. I live in the Bronx, but my soul is not from New York. My soul is from someplace where they have trains, and where they have long open fields, and where there are mountains in the distance, where there are valleys, where there are rivers, where there are plants, where there's cotton, where people speak in a simple and plain way. That's where my soul is from.
I'd like to ask how the meeting with Pete Seeger influenced your musical path.
Pete Seeger, the world-renowned folk singer, is a very genuine human being. If he talks about something, it's something that he feels in his heart. He is a man of his word. When I watched him perform, he's an expert musician, a wonderful singer, but the best part of the concert is when he gets the entire audience to sing along with him, because then they feel their own power. And it's beautiful to listen to the song like Turn, 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 or Where Have All the Flowers Gone, with all the voices in a room singing. And they don't have microphones, and yet they find themselves suddenly in harmony in a beautiful song. And his power is in sharing. And I hope that from him, I have learned some of the art of sharing, of giving.
Where lies the power of the blues? Is it the sincerity, the joy, the connection with the everyday life or emotions?
Where does the power of the blues lie? Blues is a very big word. I think it's a great and enormous energy that no one human being can contain. I think that there are many blues artists, each of who has a piece of a puzzle, but nobody's got the whole puzzle. I think that the power of the blues in its earliest form comes from the fact that it is music of survivors, those who have survived very hard and difficult times. I'm talking about slavery and racism and hurt and economic depravity and social injustice. I think those songs have a power that speaks to all human beings.
Music.
Is there any better way to express one's feelings than by music? I don't know if there are better ways, but there are certainly other ways. A man might take a paintbrush and make a painting. Someone like Picasso might make paintings that speak out against the injustices committed by dictators and terrible people during World War II. Or Michelangelo might build a statue that says what is in his heart and his soul. And someone from Scotland might sing a song about his father down in a coal mine. And the power of those things, I think, is no greater or no less than the best that perhaps I can offer.
You have contributed to several educational initiatives, and what is the role of music in education? What the music can give to kids that are not going to be musicians, but just what is the role of music in their education?
The role of music in education at its best is when kids get to sing together, much in the spirit of Pete Seeger, getting an audience to sing together. Kids discover that not only do they have their own voice, but the kids around them have voices. They can sing melodies, they can sing in harmony, they can sing with rhythms. I think they learned in a way how to cooperate with each other, how to get along in the world.
Which blues musician influenced your music the most?
Which blues musician influenced my music the most? Well, let's see, what day is today? It's Monday?
Yeah.
It must be Howlin' Wolf then today. Yesterday it was Muddy Waters. The day before it was Robert Johnson. And there are also living musicians who I love very much, like Eric Bibb and Corey Harris. That's a very, very difficult question to answer, because each of these men, and people like Memphis Minnie, who's a woman, they each have parts of the puzzle. And sometimes one part affects me more than another part. But if I had to absolutely bring it down to only one blues musician, and I could have his record, and I was stuck on an island with nobody else, well, it might be Muddy Waters. There was something about Muddy Waters singing that was so powerful that everything you hear in the Chicago blues seems to have come from it. And what came before it was the music of Robert Johnson. And what Robert Johnson had, the resources that he drew on, were people like Blind Lemon Jefferson and Leadbelly and Henry Thomas, old musicians, playing very old music from before the 20th century. So Muddy Waters has something, I think, in his voice that stirs my heart, a kind of an urgency. And especially one of my favorite songs is Hoochie Coochie Man. Yeah, yesterday in the concert I got to play with some young Polish musicians, came up on the stage and joined me. And it just makes me feel that the blues is alive. You know, the blues doesn't just exist on old records, dusty records, or even CDs. It's there. But I think the purpose is for people to enjoy the sound, but musicians to take it and then learn it and then absorb it and then do it alive, doing the music live. That's what makes the music as powerful as it is. And so to have those fellows come up on the stage, I think we demonstrated rule number one of musical jamming. That is, you always got to listen to each other. If you can listen and the music you play is second nature, then you got a symphony going right there, man. And those cats are beautiful on harmonica and guitar and all these instruments. I had a ball. Polish artists most attentive, especially When I came off the stage and was singing that slightly naughty song to the girls, very attentive, very focused.
Could you play something more, because I couldn't do your lecture
Because you were just all slow and couldn't get to go. Okay, well, let's find out what we get together.
Could you play what you doing, your song?
What you doing? You're talking about the man's lips, not Sleepy John Estes. What you doing? Okay, let's do what you're doing. All right. Sleepy John Estes, who for myself, and if I can't keep her, don't want nobody else. You got to give in kind, just for what you doing. Well, I hate to hear train whistle blow, make my feet start itching, made me wanna go. You got to give in kind, what you doing? When a man's out working, know he doing what's right. Some low down rascal trying to steal his wife. You got to give in kind, just for what you doing. Well, you ain't no angel, don't you tell me no lie. Did my baby stop here, or did you keep going by? You got to give in kind, just for what you doing.
Thank you very much for your time, and there is something you would like to add to people who will watch this interview, then feel free to say.
Well, let's see. If you're watching this interview, maybe I can add a little something to it. blues is all right.
Super. Thank you. Thank you very much.